God, I just ate like a bagel and I'm like tired.
One singular bagel makes you tired.
Yeah, like a big fat thick bagel with like just tons of cream cheese and bacon and like
Where'd you get it from?
this place called AM Bagel. It's in Roncy. It's like an amazing bagel spot.
Oh,
All
oh.
right, okay, ready?
You know, Starbucks doesn't put cream cheese on the bagel for you.
You have to do it yourself.
You have to do it yourself. Carry on though.
I didn't know that. Did
Cheap
you know that?
bastards.
Did you try to do that yourself sometime?
Guy at work got one yesterday. So he paid like double for a bagel than he would at Tim Hortons, and he had to butter it himself.
He had to butter it himself. All butter, all butter, all the time.
Butter.
Last night, the Raptors lost by 48 points, which is the largest margin of defeat in franchise history. They've lost 15 straight, just two losses away from a franchise losing streak. What is going on? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Raptors NBA podcast. We are your hosts, Alex Drobin and Andy Redding. We've been on a bit of a hiatus just because we've been really busy. The team's been horrible. They've just been a horrible watch for the last couple of months. Um, I don't know. Andy, what are your first thoughts about what happened last night? Biggest loss in franchise history. We lost by 48 points, 15 game losing streak. How obvious is it that we're tanking right now?
Couldn't be more obvious. The lineups that this team is putting out, the guys, they're just signing guys from the G League on 10-day contracts, and they're in the starting lineup. Malik Williams. Nobody's ever heard of him. Don't act like you have. He's in the starting lineup. It's
First ever career start, just signed a 10-day contract.
he's not playing like garbage minutes. He's playing starting lineup minutes. It's atrocious. It couldn't be more obvious they're tanking, which I guess is good. There's no point in winning. 0 point in winning. Uh, but yeah, the games are tough watches. They're just there's no there's no silver lining here.
So speaking of the lineup, so I wrote a bunch of the stuff down. So it's Mohamed Gay. So he is, uh,
Moji.
yeah. Then there's Kobe Simmons, 4 year in the league, 42 games total. Then there is Javon Freeman Liberty, who he's a rookie as well. Total number of games played in the league, 16. And we're just throwing these guys out there for like major minutes. It's so obvious that we want to keep that top 6% protected pick. And I don't think it's a good enough draft for that pick to really make a big difference, but it's clear that they're tanking. I've never really seen the Raptors tank like this. Have you?
No, it seems like they've always tried to win. Even when they were really bad, they were at least putting out their good guys. At least who was running out there? Andrea Bargnani was going out there every night.
Yeah, just
But
going out there, just putting in
up
work.
30.
Um, this is the longest losing streak since the 1997-1998 season for the Raptors, which is like really hard to believe. Since the 1997-98 season, that's almost 30 years. Like that's absolutely insane. And I'm kind of baffled because it seems like our roster isn't that bad. Like we don't have that bad of a roster. Obviously, the whole RJ Barrett thing, his brother, rest in peace. We had that whole situation. So RJ was out a bunch of games. Obviously, Scotty Barnes is injured. You could tell that he wants to play. He actually just posted on his Instagram today being like, I miss hooping. He just had like a sad emoji. I
Yeah.
miss hooping. The one guy that actually gives a shit on this team. And it just seems like, I don't know, these sorts of lineups that we're running out there are just horrendous. But I'm thinking like, even if they did have all their guys healthy and playing, what would be the best situation and the best outcome for the Raptors? Like play in?
No, no. This is not no. This is not even close to a playing team, even fully healthy. They are well, maybe Scotty fully healthy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's what I think. I think Scotty fully healthy. He's an all-star. RJ Barrett, Manuel quickly, like, Jakob, slot in whatever four you want to slot in there. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. But it's like, yeah, with these sorts of lineups, I'm literally watching the other night. I think the first night, well, hold on. Malik Williams last night was his first game. But when Javon Freeman Liberty was getting rolled out, I was like, who the hell are these dudes? Like I literally didn't know. You know what I mean? And I felt like such a bandwagon fan or like just such a fake fan, just having zero idea who these people are, you know?
But nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Diehards don't know. You got to watch
Yeah.
every G League game and maybe you'll know some guys.
It's actually crazy because I was kind of baffled. And then yesterday when the game was starting, I was like, there were no news about Malik Williams in this Raptors starting lineup. And then the look on his face, man. I don't know if you saw the very start of the game, but the look on his face was just like pure, um, like surprise. Like he was in shock that he's starting in an NBA game. You know?
Give it 5, 10 years. We're gonna look back at these lineups and play like the guess who game. Like, remember that time the Raptors had that starting lineup? Can you name the starting lineup from April 2024? Like
And everyone's
these
gonna
will
say
be,
no.
or they'll be like infamously laughed at. Like the old Lakers starting lineups that had like Robert Sacre in them. Like people will look back and just be like, how was that a starting lineup in the NBA?
So I guess the next question is where do the Raptors go from here? Obviously, they will keep the top six protected pick. Right
Uh
now, yeah, go ahead.
Even if they finish where they are right now, they still only have a 45% chance of keeping it in the lottery because there's a good chance another team moves up ahead of them.
Moves up ahead
So
of them.
odds are you're probably not even getting that pick anyways.
Okay,
It's
but
not
let's just say that they do keep the pick. Okay, let's just say.
okay.
Right now the projected sixth overall pick is Reed Shepard from Kentucky, who's a 6'3" guard. Absolutely not. The other day when I was looking at these projections, Stephon Castle from UConn was projected to go sixth, which I would have been okay with, but he's listed at 6'6". I saw him in person, maybe 6'4". Okay,
Mhm.
you know me on these height stats. I always like
They're all lies.
drop it down a couple of inches. For sure they're all lies. Not all of them, but like I have a question for you. How would you feel about the Raptors drafting Zach Edey?
With the sixth overall pick,
Yeah.
awful, terrible, because that is bad value and you could trade down and get him later. I believe Zach Edey will be available with the Raptors pick. That's gonna be like 31st, the Pistons pick. Uh, I think that he'll be available there, and that might be a stretch to take him there, but that would be the spot, and I would love it.
Right now, all of these draft boards are projecting to be like 15 to 20. So I don't think we'll get him there. But here's my thing.
You got to trade down.
What about reaching on a guy who has Yao Ming's build? That's the comp. Yao Ming is
True.
the comp. He's the absolutely the best comparable for Zach Edey. Like, why is everyone hating on this guy so much? I saw him in
I like
person.
him.
Look, I saw him in person twice this year.
That's
Once when
right.
they were in Toronto at the Mattamy Center, and obviously I just went to March Madness, which was actually amazing, by the way, which we can get into in a second. But it's just like the way that he moves sometimes seems a little bit slow, but if he gets positioning down low, it's over. And then also on the defensive end, he changes shots and he grabs rebounds. So like I don't know why he's the college player of the year, probably 2 years in a row. Like I don't understand why people are writing him off so much and are projecting him to go like you just said. We could get him at 31. Like I don't see.
Okay, then take him with the Pacers pick they have, which could be around 20, right?
I don't think he'll last that long, Andy. I'm telling you.
Then
Somebody
trade.
will take a shot on him. I think he's going to be a lottery pick. Somebody will
You
take a chance on him.
cannot. They cannot take him at 6. You have to trade down
Okay,
if you want
so
him.
have you done like do you know who would you take at 6 then? I don't know if you've how much
I
um
like you mentioned Kentucky. I like their other guard, Rob Dillingham. I think he's kind of like quickly, but I think he looks like an NBA dude to me. He can shoot. He's got a nice handle. Can never have enough guards.
I was just, you know what I was just about to
Yours.
say? Do we want
What?
another Malachi Flynn? But Malachi Flynn just dropped 50. The
he's
dude's
faster
six
than
he's six
he's
one.
faster than Malachi.
No, he's not. He's not faster than Malachi Flynn. All of these dudes look
Yes, he
faster.
is.
Malachi Flynn is an NBA.
This guy's
He's an
the
NBA player.
fastest guy in the draft.
Okay, he's maybe a little bit faster, but he's 6'1". His wingspan's 60. He's
I
6'1",
like him.
175. Like,
I'm a
come on.
fan.
Anybody will throw him down to the post and work him.
He's a point guard.
I know that, but I'm saying like on any sort of any point guard in the league will work him. I think he's just too little. 175? Like, come on. But you know who I would love to get if he drops off, which I don't think he will, is Dalton
Who?
Connect.
You're a fan, hey? He went
You know
off.
how I feel. You know how I feel about white players in the NBA. I hate to say it. I just don't like drafting them. Unfortunately, we just have not had a good track record of drafting. In that sense. But Dalton Connect, like I saw his warm up. So we were watching that Tennessee game,
Yeah.
bro. They're like running at each other full speed, like smashing into each other, wrestling at half. Like it's stuff that you see when you're in person at the game. There's no cameras on him yet. Like he is he is aggressive. He's like an aggressive, angry dude, it seems like, which is something I like about him. You know me, again, I'm not usually one to draft players like that, but 6'6, 204. He's super athletic. He hits a bunch of jump shots. Doesn't take the best shots sometimes, but I don't know if that's possible that he'll fall to 6 if the Raptors do end up keeping that pick, because right now he's at least on the Ringers draft board, he's listed at number 5. So I don't know. What do you think of him?
Is he? I am seeing him at like 10 in some mock drafts. I think there's a good chance he'll be where the Raptors are.
You think?
If they have that pick. Yeah. Sure. That's nice. He can score. He put up how many points in your game that you went to? Like 30 plus?
No, he dropped like 20 something.
It was a different
30
game.
plus was, yeah, different game. But here's my question. Why would you draft, like you said, a Kentucky guy? Why would you draft another point guard? Like, don't you like Emmanuel quickly?
Take the best available talent and let him grow. Maybe quickly's not doesn't develop as much as we want.
I don't know. You're
Just
right.
take
All
the
of these
best.
draft boards are like super different. What about that
Or
Lithuanian guy?
I was gonna say this. What about just closing your eyes and picking one of these Euros who maybe we don't have the greatest scouting report on and could develop? I find often people overlook Europeans. Even Doncic was overlooked. These guys are undervalued and they have a lot of upside. Just take one.
I mean, you didn't overlook Doncic. You were right on point with that one.
I said he should have been number one. Yeah.
Matas Buzelis, G League Ignite, Lithuania, 6'11", 195. Spacer, he can shoot the floor, shoot the ball, off ball defense. His floater is really good. Feel for the game is pretty good. Like I don't know, I've just seen highlights. I'm not sitting there watching the G League Ignite team, but he seems pretty good. Obviously, everyone compares him to what's his name, the number one prospect that's coming out next year. Anyways, whatever. Like it seems like he's like long enough and he can shoot. He plays defense. So I don't know. Maybe that would be a stretch. But if it was up to me, I would take a shot on Zach Edey. I understand what people are saying, but it seems like all of these teams that are really competing for championships right now are winning with bigs. Obviously, Nikola Jokic. Obviously, you have Wemby in the league right now, who's, by the way, that game against the Nuggets was insane. Him and Jokic going back and forth. Wemby definitely got the best of him, but it just seems like, you need a real big in this league to win. So can Zach Edey be that big on the Raptors?
He can't shoot. That's his problem.
He can
The
shoot
guys
free
you
throws.
listed, yeah, he can. He shoots a lot of those. Got a lot of
Yeah.
practice.
Good form. Good form.
I like the thought, but I don't like him at 6. Trade down or take him with the Pacers pick. I'm okay with that.
I think a good comp to him as well is Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez was an all-star in the league. He
He
was
didn't.
slow. Everyone thought he was slow moving. He was extremely slow in the post. And then he changed his game up. Now he shoots threes and he's good. I don't
True.
know. I
He
feel
was
like people
dominant
just
at he was dominant at Stanford, couldn't shoot there, and he learned how to shoot.
so there you go. So I don't
Can
know.
you,
I feel like you're against it way too much.
can you really see Zach Edey in 5 years banging down NBA 3-pointers?
Yes. Absolutely. Why not? Why not? Literally go and train with Brook Lopez for a summer, pay him some money or whatever, and I guarantee you he could be as good as Brook Lopez from 3. I guarantee he practices him now. He has really good form on his 3-point shooting. Here, let's take a look at Zach Edey's free throw percentage right now, because that's a really good indicator of whether or not people are going to be able to shoot
What's it like 75% is my guess.
shoot threes.
75-ish.
So stats. So, 1 second. Free throw percentage this season 71. 71.
That's good for a big man who can't shoot.
So 25 points per game, 12 rebounds, couple of assists. I don't know. I feel like you're hating on him for no reason.
Hating. I'm saying take him. Most people are saying he's not a first round pick.
Okay, but wait. So
I
you're saying take him at 6 if he falls to the Raptors? We get him?
No, with the Pacers pick in the mid teens
I
to
just
late teens.
I really want the Raptors to take him because he's a good hometown boy. He's gonna come in, he get a crazy standing ovation. People will love him in Toronto. It's going to be amazing. We can't do anything during this draft anyways. Like, who else are the Raptors going to pick that'll make any sort of difference? Nobody, right?
Long term, other guys probably have bigger upside, bigger NBA upside.
Okay, so then let me ask you, what can the Raptors do to become better? Tell me. Is there anything the Raptors can do?
Short term or long term?
Like, are we just going to be a mediocre team for the next 5 years?
Yes, mediocre would be good.
This is
Could be
horrendous.
this could be a very dark 5 years. Fire alarms going off.
This reminds me of when, like, yeah, Andrea Bargnani was on the team. There was just no hope. Just zero hope. Right before Chris Bosh went on the team. By the way, I just went to a sports memorabilia store the other day and got a Chris Bosh signed 2007 All-Star jersey. How random is that?
How much did you spend on that?
I don't want to tell you. No, it actually wasn't expensive. It wasn't that expensive.
Why is it not hanging up behind you?
I haven't had time to do it, but nice signed Chris Bosh jersey. I don't know, man. This whole thing, like looking at this draft, nobody's going to make a difference for the Raptors. I don't think they can do anything in the next couple of years. I don't know. It's just kind of sad, depressing times. Did you see the Lakers game? There's like nobody in the crowd. It was empty. What?
We got a
What?
fire alarm in my place.
Oh, do you?
It's pretty loud.
Don't worry. I can't hear it. Is it going off hard?
You can't hear anything?
Yeah, definitely definitely a little bit. Definitely a little bit. I get them all the time. Wait, is it still going?
Yeah, it's still going in the hallway now, though. Might come back on in here.
Okay. What else did you have to talk about?
Okay, so we got the Raptors suck out of the way. That's
Yep.
nice. Quick note: shout out Garrett Temple playing the 5 last night.
The
I don't know,
best dressed man in the league.
playing the 5. That's what it's come to.
Crazy.
Bad lineups. You got any other Raptors conversation, or you want to move on?
I just had one question for you. Would you rather take the Raptors roster currently or the Detroit Pistons roster?
Raptors. You higher upside. I like Jalen Duren. He's a
Scotty's
man.
an all-star though. That's the one thing.
Yeah, I know. Cade is
And
disappointing.
nobody knows what's happening with Cade. But anyways, that was my question. Just because Raptors are 12th in the East, Pistons are 15th. So dead last in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I'd rather have the Raptors. Yeah. Scotty's got higher upside than anybody on their team.
Absolutely.
Although
Okay.
they both could be terrible for 5 years.
What were you gonna say?
You want to talk Pistons right now?
A little bit, sure. Let me pull up some Pistons stuff. Go ahead.
Your attention, please.
It's okay. I can't hear you. Just go. It doesn't matter. You won't be able to tell.
The fire alarm has been investigated.
If it's on the mic, you won't be able to tell.
The fire alarm has been
Malachi
investigated.
Flynn, 50 burger last night.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? The most shocking stat line. And don't act like you were watching the game. Nobody was watching that game.
The first time I saw that stat was literally when the NBA put it up, and they only put up his very last bucket when he got to 50. It was that like steal or whatever pass to him, easily up for the 50. I don't know, man. Malachi Flynn could always score the ball. Like it's not like I'm obviously surprised that he dropped 50 in the NBA, but he's had these 60, 70-point games in these like summer leagues where he was just putting up ridiculous shots. And it's not like he was like getting to the rim and there were no big bodies. Even in those situations, he was just jacking up really long threes. So like, I feel like anybody in the league, not anybody, but a lot of players in the league these days can put up crazy numbers just because there's so little defense. But that was impressive, man. I love Malachi Flynn. We were both off on him, but I feel like we still both thought that he had a chance to be an okay like backup point guard in the league. No?
I didn't. No, I gave up on him. So did the Raptors, and so did the Knicks. Like 2 teams have given up on him this year. Is it an anomaly just because he can get more playing time with the Pistons? Like, could he ever do it for a real good team? Probably not.
Do you think he'd bet on himself like
like
what's his name?
Jonte?
Yeah, like Jonte? He just bet on himself to put up a 50 piece and just went hard. We haven't even talked about that. We should probably touch on it. But it's crazy because he averages 5.3 points a game.
I know. Third bench player to ever drop 50. I'm happy for him. I have a list of guys that he has a higher career high than. It's shocking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Shea Gilgeous, De'Aaron Fox, Chris Paul. Malachi Flynn now has a higher career high than all those 5 guys. Is that nuts?
I
What
think
world
that
is this?
says something though. Doesn't that say something? Like if he's put into a good situation, like where he actually has the ball, and he comes off some screens. He was what was he 5 for? Just 1 second. He was 18 for 25 field goals, but he was 5 for 9 from 3. Gets into good situations, gets to the line. He was 9 for 12. Like he could be a good player. Granted, the Pistons lost,
Yeah.
so it's not like he put up a 50 piece and they won. They still lost by 8. But I don't know. Like maybe he's not as bad of a player as we thought. Maybe he could be a serviceable backup point guard. I don't know what else to say about that.
He'd be starting on the Raptors right now.
100%. Well, no, he wouldn't be starting over Emmanuel quickly, but
The Raptors don't have positions right now. They have Garrett Temple playing the 5. They put him in there. They're just putting their 5 best guys in there right now. I wish though that we had a fun story like this with the Raptors this year. I wish some good story G League guy popped off for 40 points, but there's nothing. We have no enjoyment at the end of the season like this.
we have nothing. It's so
Absolutely
crazy though,
nothing.
because I'm just looking through his recent game logs here, and it's like 5 minutes played, 0 points, 4 minutes played, 0 points, 2 minutes played, 2 points, 1 minute played, 0 points, 18 minutes, 11 points, 0 minutes, or sorry, 3 minutes, 0 points, 25 minutes, 17 points, 30 minutes, 14 points, 19 minutes, 14 points, 14 minutes, 3 points, 14 minutes, 9 points, 34 minutes, 50 points.
50 burger. Do you remember when we were in LA? We ran into, I think it was like his high school coach behind us in line. Do you remember this?
Maybe.
We were entering the stadium for a Raptors Lakers game in LA. I believe it was his high school coach or like a friend was behind us in line. He had like shoes to get autographed after the game. He traveled from Washington State just to watch Malachi play. And I think he might have played like 4 minutes that game. So good for that guy.
I don't
Good for his
remember
big
that.
fan.
But there's nothing like having a couple people believe in you, to keep
Yeah.
you going.
They probably feel real happy right now.
That goes to everyone out there in life, Just believe in somebody and believe in yourself like Malachi did last night.
But don't bet on yourself.
Don't bet on yourself like Freddie. Okay, I have
And
a couple Eastern Conference and Western Conference things to get to, but do you have anything else about the Raptors or sorry, about Malachi?
No, I do not. That is enough.
Okay. Number one, I think the Western Conference playoffs are going to be insane. I am looking forward to this playoff run more than I have in years, because even to get into the play-in, Andy, the Warriors have to play the Lakers 10-9. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the Kings are there with the Pelicans 8-7. Like, so the Warriors have to beat the Lakers, right? So the Warriors have to go beat the Lakers, and then they have to beat the Lakers twice as opposed to the Lakers beating them once. So they have to go 2-1 to get into that 8 spot. Is that correct? And then the Kings.
No, they just have to beat the Lakers, and then they are in the.
No, I think if the Lakers are ahead, because the Lakers are ahead, they have to go 2-1 against the Lakers. There's a 3 game, isn't there? Or 3 games, or am I getting this twisted?
I think 9 and 10 just play, and the loser is eliminated.
Because I'm pretty sure that's what the play-in tournament is. But anyways, whatever. Regardless, the Lakers have to play the Warriors to get into the last spot of the playoffs of this seeding. And then I don't know, man. For me, if the Lakers get into that 8th spot and they have to play the Timberwolves, I wouldn't be shocked if they beat that Timberwolves team, just because LeBron and AD seem like they're healthy. They can always pull it out. 8-game series. They have to start a 7-game series. They have to win 4 games. I don't know. I think that anybody who's near the top other than the Nuggets should be nervous. Like by anybody, I really only mean the Timberwolves and the Thunder. You know, if the Timberwolves or the Thunder run into the Warriors or the Lakers, I think that could be an 8-1 upset.
What about, you don't think the Kings could pull off an upset?
I think because Malik Monk is I think he's injured. They have some injuries going over there, so I don't know how well they're going to be playing over the next little bit. I just don't trust the Kings. They had a couple of bad losses recently. Um, 1 second, let me see. So 2 game, yeah, they look lost. They've lost the last 4 to 5, I believe. So I don't know. They're not trending up. I think the Lakers and the Warriors, the Warriors have won 5 in a row. The Lakers have won 3 in a row. They're kind of ramping up for this little run. The Kings are on their way down. Malik Monk is a huge part of that offense. He's injured. He's not coming back. I don't know. I think this is going to be a really, really exciting playoff series. And then the 4-5 matchup, if it stays this way with the Clippers and the Mavericks, is going to be ridiculous. Because Luka is my favorite player to watch in the league now.
I feel like your favorite player in the league changes every 2 months.
It does. Because a lot of them take time off, they get injured, they sit. But Luka has just been balling.
Yeah, Mavs Clippers would be electric if it stays the way it is.
We should make a trip either out to Dallas or to LA to watch one of those games.
That'd be a big trip.
That'd be a big trip. That'd be a big trip. That'd be a big move.
Go to a Clippers home playoff game, then go to a Lakers home playoff game the next night.
That would be amazing. Something we've already done.
That's true.
So, and then I'm looking at these standings and so say they remain the way that they are right now, which is tough because Thunder are 1 game back. So it's probably going to stay this way. Although the Suns and the Pelicans, they're both 8 games back, so that might flip.
The Kings are 8.5. Mavs are only set. Mavs could be in the play-in game very easily. They're only half a game clear.
Yeah, this is so interesting. But I'm just thinking, the way that they're sitting right now, if the Suns play the Thunder, who do you have in that series?
Thunder. I'm not high on the Suns. I think they're very thin roster-wise, and they're just not gelling. Bradley Beal is not the guy they thought he was. I think they're average. They're a 6th place team.
I don't agree. I think the Suns beat the Thunder without a doubt. I think they have too much. They have too much offense. They have a chance to beat anybody on any night. So I think a 4-game series against the Thunder, they don't really know what they're doing. They haven't been there yet. You have guys on the Suns that have won championships, have won playoff series. Well, I guess only one out of the big 3. Devin Booker hasn't won anything.
And he only won a playoff series and championship because he tagged along on another team.
Well, a championship, but he has won playoff series by himself. Let's not go there. Let's not go that far. And let's not get into that conversation because we all know how I feel about him leaving that OKC team to go to the team that beat him. That was the softest move in NBA history.
Cupcake move.
That was the softest move in NBA history. I don't care what anyone says. And then the Pelicans, I don't know, man. This is what I'm saying. I feel like other than the Thunder, I'm not sure of any matchup on this team. Or sorry, other than the Nuggets, I'm just not sure of any other matchup in this playoff race. I think the Nuggets will still come out on top, but I don't know. These betting lines are going to be all over the place, don't you think?
They could all be 7-game series, everything except the Nuggets.
That's what I mean. Can we hang out and watch some games this year? Or are you going to be too busy for me like you have been lately?
Too busy. Too busy.
Why you've been too busy for me.
You've been too busy for me, my friend.
How have I been too busy for you?
You bailed on me the last 2 Raptors games.
No, first of all, you literally asked me the day of to go to that game. We didn't even talk about it. Did you end up going?
Yes, and we planned the Thunder game a month in advance.
That's all hearsay. I don't think any of that is real. But okay, let's move on to the Eastern Conference for a second. Right now, Celtics firm in first. It's actually such a drastic difference. I didn't even realize that the Bucks are 13 games back of the Celtics for that first place. Isn't that crazy?
Celtics have clinched first place in the whole league, I think, haven't they? Didn't they do that?
Yeah, but 13 games ahead of the second team in the conference is wild to me.
I feel like they're not getting the respect they deserve for an incredible record.
Well, I think it's because they had those 2 or 3 really bad losses. And like to Atlanta, they had that bad loss to Atlanta. Everyone was all pissed off about that.
That's right.
The Cavs third, Magic fourth, Knicks fifth. I don't know about the Knicks anymore. Obviously missing Julius Randle. Josh Hart had that comment where he's like he wasn't sure if anybody was going to come back, so he's playing the way that this roster is now, meaning he doesn't think that Randle or Anunoby are going to come back anytime soon.
Do you know what the Knicks record was with Anunoby and Randall both in the lineup?
What was it?
12-2. They would have been a legit East threat, but I don't think they are anymore.
Yeah, 100. Even if they do come back, like both of those guys have weird injuries that are like you never know if they're going to come back or not, you know.
Well, Randall's officially out as of this morning. Had surgery.
Oh, is he? He's officially
Yeah.
out for the
Came
playoffs?
out this morning. Yeah. Might
Yeah,
not even be back in time for next season.
So that's it. So yeah, the Knicks are out. The Heat, you never know with this Heat team. They've been
They look
counted out
so
like
bad.
1,000 times, but you just never know. They're on a 3-game winning streak right now, 17 and a half games back. They're tied with the Pacers.
I don't think Jimmy Butler cares about the regular season.
No, of course.
I think that's
hasn't cared about the regular season in a long time. 76ers, Joel Embiid came back, had that wild steal on Josh Giddey. Just every time I hear somebody talking about Josh Giddey on a broadcast, there's always a bit of hesitancy. Like it's like Josh Giddey hits a 3, great pass from Josh Giddey, and then the announcer, like the other announcer, will just like won't say anything for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, he's honestly though, to talk about his game, he's a
good.
ridiculous passer. Like he's a really good basketball player. You know, really good basketball player. But
He does have a few bad passes every game. Because he tries hard to make crazy passes.
yeah. God, I have like 17 jokes in my head that I'm just not gonna say right now. Yeah, so 76ers, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. So they're 19 games back. So who are they gonna play? So Sixers are in the 8th spot.
They could play Bucks first round, which would be crazy. They could easily upset the Bucks.
Yeah.
No one wants to face them.
Yeah, they could. Doc Rivers has caught some flack lately just because he's just been so bad as their head coach.
He threw, I was reading quotes from last night. He threw like the travel coordinators under the bus last night. They're like, no one was prepared. Even the travel team was ill prepared. He's thrown everyone under the bus except himself.
He's really good on podcasts. Like when he was on Bill Simmons' podcast, he was so good. And then he comes right back into the league and like, just, I don't know. I don't know why he's really living off that Celtics championship still, you know? Even though he did have some good years with the Clippers, let's not forget about that. But I think lately he hasn't been the best. So I don't know. Am I excited for any matchups in the East? Like, no.
You don't think Sixers Bucks would be entertaining? That'd be great.
Sixers Bucks would be great, but I just don't know what Joel Embiid's feeling like, right? Like I don't know what his
Still got a few weeks to get ramp up.
Yeah, I guess.
Earlier than most people thought he would.
Really disappointing about the Knicks. Like the Magic might make a little run here too. The Magic, man, that's a good team over there. Paolo Banchero was a monster. He had a couple of dunks last week just coming down the lane that is just like something LeBron would do. He keeps getting these comps. What?
You were a year early on the Magic.
I was a year early on the Magic. I thought they were going to be good last year. But listen, man, nothing is comparing to Victor Wembanyama. Nothing. Like, I just don't even know. It just seems like it's just not fair when he's playing. I know people say that, I've heard that before from others, but like it seems like it's not fair. Like the rim is a little too small for him. The way that he was blocking Jokic, like it looked like Jokic was a child. Did it not?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, he's got a clear advantage over everybody in the league. Yes.
But I don't understand. Why can't we've had really long, big guys like this before? What's the difference with him? He's just really mobile.
Mobile, the handle, the shot, all
like
in one.
His arms are just like swinging around the rim at all times. So on the defensive end, it's like I don't know what anybody can do to stop him. He's literally a cheat code, and I don't even think like I'm not saying that as like as a like as a pun or like as a joke. Like it seems like you're cheating when he's on the court, even though they are dead last in the West.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is so strange, don't you think?
Well, they've got nobody around him. I don't know. He's a rookie, still makes mistakes. No one around him.
That was like Bill Simmons' biggest take or like biggest issue of the year. He's like, oh, nobody's around Wemby. He's just like they're wasting this incredible season, even though it's his first season. Like, which I kind of agree with. Like, I can't believe the way that this guy plays, and I can't believe that they don't win games. Right? It just shows that basketball is such a team sport, and you just can't have one player going off on everybody all the time because they're dead last in the West.
You'd
Was
think
LeBron's Cavs dead last in the West when LeBron came in the league?
they're pretty bad. I don't know. The first year they might have been. They were pretty bad. Which one was more impressive first year, LeBron or Wemby?
Wemby, by far.
By far.
By far. By far.
By far?
Yeah, by far.
You're buying in the. You're just all hype.
It's not hype, Andy. It's just like some of his dunks are like literally no human has ever done before. Some of his like the block shots, like it's something that no one can do just based on not having those physical abilities. Like, yeah, LeBron's dunks are nice, like him coming down the lane, slamming on people, like, you know, obviously the king dunk with his arm, you know, with his head over the rim, like that's a whole different thing. But we've seen that before. We've never seen the stuff that Wemby's doing at all. We haven't.
I didn't ask you who's more unique. I said who's better.
I think Wemby's better, man.
Just because he's doing different things doesn't mean he's better than LeBron in his
I
first
think
year.
Wemby is better overall. Like, there's so many times where I've like randomly turned on NBA League Pass and just like watched the Spurs for like, you know, 5-10 minute stretches and then got back to my chess game or whatever I was doing, you know? But like literally just see Wemby changing people's offensive patterns completely. Like people are going towards the rim and he could just be like at the rim or like a step out and they literally turn around and pass the ball away. Like he changes the way that teams play the game, which is like, and a lot of people do that, but he does it in a way where like if you're anywhere near the rim, you're getting swatted. Doesn't matter. And you could get swatted from the other side of the rim.
Would you place a bet if you could for next year's Defensive Player of the Year to be Wemby?
Why isn't he this year's defensive player of the year? Because he's dead last in the West? Is that why?
I feel like they just never give awards to rookies other than Rookie of the Year. I feel like
Yeah,
rookies.
of course, it's gonna be him. Like he dwarfs everybody.
Not Chet.
No, not Chet, man. God, he's so much better than Chet. Poor
He's not
Chet.
so much better than Chet. No, Chet's a
I'm
better
sorry.
shooter.
I know you love Chet. I know you love Chet.
Chet's a
But
better shooter.
Wemby's 1,000 times better than Chet.
1,000 times, maybe fractionally.
No, he's way better than Chet. It's not even close. Nobody, like you could give up Chet and like they probably give up 3 of the OKC starters for Wembanyama right now. Would you agree?
OKC would not allow that.
Man, I would argue that OKC would give up Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet together for Wemby.
That is the most egregious take you've had in months. That is so silly.
You know what?
MVP candidate.
You know what? Hold on.
for rookie
Wait.
year
Let's
candidate.
ask our audience. I would personally give up Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet for Victor Wembanyama. Would you?
Your dad won't even agree with you on this one.
My dad doesn't agree with most of the things I say.
He will not have your back
in my
on this
life. He will not have you back in his house. They actually just did a nice reno in their house, by the way.
Oh,
You should see it. Yeah, redid the
Congrats.
whole main floor, redid the flooring.
wow.
Just like OKC's done with their team over the last few years. But I guarantee you that would be a conversation. Shea and Chet for Wemby?
No. Not even
I-
Jalen Williams and Chet. Like, no.
Wemby made Shea look like a child the other day, like last week when they played against each other. And granted, yes, the Chet Wemby matchup is good, but I think Chet just has, or Wemby just has such a higher ceiling than Chet.
Slightly higher ceiling.
You're a slightly higher ceiling.
Thank you. That's
You're
a
welcome.
compliment.
Anyways, all right. Do we have anything else? We've been talking for like an hour.
No. You got anything else? How do you feel about Jonte Porter?
Love it. I just think it was really, really silly. Like the guy was actually starting to play pretty well. I think hammering the under when your line is like 5.5 points, 3.5 boards is like a little disrespectful to yourself. Like,
Leaving games early.
and leaving games, it's like, oh, my eye's hurting, I'm sick or whatever. I saw something where I was like literally ended up diving into a bunch of wormholes where it said that he was averaging 2 million bucks profit per month, but I think it was like a satire page. But I was like, wait a minute, has he been doing this for a long time? But like, what a silly guy, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's absurd that he would do something like that.
Just starting to become a rotation piece.
And he
Probably.
would have been a rotation piece. He would have been a rotation piece in the NBA.
Yep.
Like maybe a second or third big off the bench. Okay, let's say that.
He's a good passer, good shooter. Yeah.
Like good passer, good shooter. When he hit that three off the bank and you saw his face go, oh, like
He didn't want to make that.
I was like, oh my God. Like all these things start surfacing.
It all makes sense.
God, I can't believe that because he was on a two-way. He was making $415,000 for the year. And he was betting like 500 grand or somebody was. My question is, where was he getting that money from? Was it from Michael?
Stop it. Don't imply his brother.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I just thought it was horrendous. That guy's never gonna play in the NBA anymore, ever again. I don't think. Right?
No, yeah, definitely not.
What do you think the proper punishment for him is?
Suspension for life.
So then that's an expulsion.
Yeah. I think he
I
will.
keep hearing
I
that
think
same term.
they want to make an
suspension.
example of him. And this is the
What
perfect.
what if it was like LeBron?
Well, you can look at Major League Baseball right now. Ohtani,
Ohtani.
pretty fishy. I think
That's
they sweep
wild.
it under the rug and find a fall man, like an interpreter or manager or someone.
He's like, yeah, you're just gonna have to go to jail for like 20 years. Is that okay? Like, sure. But don't worry, we'll put you in a really, really nice jail.
It'd be nice.
It'll be really nice. Don't worry. They'll have access to whatever you want, and we'll
Satellite
pay your
TV.
family. We'll pay your family for the duration of your jail time. I don't know. A lot of people would take that.
Yo, if I ever get
Anyways,
caught up in anything, will you be my fall guy?
depends. What's it gonna be?
Uh,
You mean other than the stuff that you've already been caught up in?
yeah. So like something new that
Because some of that stuff was real fishy.
Yeah. Money laundering is my big thing right now.
I don't know if you should just say that out loud like that. He's kidding, everybody. He's kidding.
It's already laundered. You can't find it.
You can't find it. It's laundered. It's on the West Coast over there. It's near Tofino.
Don't tell him.
Don't tell him. It's in the woods. What are those? What's that? What's that series? Marty Bird's the main character. The Ozarks. Anyways, all right. Enough of this.
Enough.
This is gonna be our last Raptors oriented episode of the season. We're gonna do a playoff preview once everything is is shaken down or whatever I'm trying to say. And then I'm really excited for these playoffs. So we're definitely going to have podcasts at least weekly during the playoffs. And then if anything crazy happens, we'll do that as well. But in the meantime, thank you so much for being fans this Raptor season. We've gained a bunch of subscribers on YouTube. We're at over 100 subscribers already. We have over 2,000 hours of watch time. Incredible. Thanks for everybody for following us on Instagram, on TikTok, on all the platforms. We really appreciate you. Andy, anything else?
It's a tough time to be a Raptors fan, but we got your back, subscribers. We got your back.
We got your back. We'll be dropping some nice Raptors heat over the next little while as well, in terms of like Vince Carter stuff. We got Kyle Lowry stuff. We have DeMar DeRozan stuff coming out. So we have some good Raptors history stuff for you coming soon. All right. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Make sure to subscribe on Apple, on Spotify, on YouTube. You know the deal. Love you. Appreciate you. Have a great day.